but they are so committed to the community in which they live and work. They are really, really passionate about investing back into the community, and that is why they've chosen Alzheimer Society Isle of Man as their charity of the year, because it really resonates with their colleagues and their employees. They really, really have a personal connection with friends, family members who have dementia. And so, Newfield, from that perspective, they're a fantastic company who are really great to work for, but also really, really keen on giving something back as well.
And Grahame Bell from the Alzheimer Society, this must be hugely welcome news to you.
Excuse me, absolutely. The local businesses support us phenomenally well. I've said to Merita before, we don't actively promote or fundraise on the island, and it's incredible how often companies will cold call us asking to raise money for us or tell us they're going to be raising money for us. And when something like this comes along, it can make a massive difference to the services we're able to provide.
And we know from the statistics that more and more people are living with Alzheimer's, living with the effects of Alzheimer's as a carer or a family member. What sort of support is available over here for people in that situation then? Yeah,
there's about 1,300 people with dementia on the island. And obviously each one of those people is likely to have a carer and is likely to have an extended family. So, you can see the levels of the problem or the challenge that dementia brings. And we try to provide information, services, support right the way across the island. So we provide it from the point that a person receives a diagnosis of dementia. We have a support worker who works with the older person's mental health service, with the OPMS team, and they provide an intensive period of support to people. During that period, we'll try and give them things like carers information support program, courses for the carers to give them all the information about what the dementia that the person, their loved one is living with, what the likely progression of the condition is, what sort of coping strategies they can put in place, where they can go to get help and support and assistance, financial, how they can put legal things in place. And also we can put them in touch with our other groups like the Singing for the Brain groups, which we have at Douglas Ramsey and Port Erin, hopefully soon at Peel as well. So they can attend those sort of support groups as well. And then once they finish with that person, then we refer them on to our community support worker who tries to keep people living at home for as long as possible, living as well as possible. And if for any reason they have to go into Nobles Hospital or Ramsey Cottage, again, we have a support worker who works at both those locations who can support the person with dementia in the acute care setting to try and get them back to a condition where they can be discharged back home as soon as possible and appropriately, so it's at the right time of day, etc.
And it can't be underestimated, can it, really, how crucial this sort of support is? Because although it is something that affects so many people, as you've just said, until you actually live with a family member going through dementia and how it can manifest itself in so many different ways, can't it? It's almost impossible to understand how much that can affect your life as much as theirs.
Absolutely. Every person's journey with the condition is different. You can't say what the progression of the condition is going to be. You can give it in very general terms, but each person has an individual journey with the condition, and it's one of the things we try to do with our CRISP course, for instance, is to make sure that the person that's caring for the person with dementia comes out at the other end, however long that takes, still with their own health and able to enjoy their life and not feeling guilty about any decisions they made, etc., etc. So it's a massively complex subject.
And are all these services that you offer, are they all free for people who want
absolutely. We don't charge for any of our services. We even offer occasional tea dances. We've got one coming up on the 24th of February. And again, they're organised by local businesses. So Zurich are organising that one for us. And all of these things are free. So if somebody's got dementia, their families, we try to encourage them to come along to make it a social occasion so people can see their loved ones dancing and singing and enjoying themselves, to give them some happy memories. So, if people want to come along to that, we don't charge for any of those.
And
things.
music is something, isn't it, that is so important to people. There's always that sort of link back to maybe a time when things were happy, as you're suggesting. And I want to know, on the back of that, about your Singing for the Brain sessions.
Singing for the Brain. I was at a Singing for the Brain session this morning. It's one of those things where people come along to the sessions or are already present, and we sing old songs, stuff from the war, maybe musical. Stuff's becoming even more recent, so we sing songs from the 60s and 70s now. And even people with quite advanced dementia will start tapping their feet, will start potentially even singing along, but certainly smiling. And by the end of the session, everybody is smiling. They're always good, fun, happy occasions. So, yeah, it really does serve a good purpose.
So, Merita, listening to that, I mean, what a wonderful cause to be supporting. Tell us more about this carnival-themed ball, then.
So the Carnival themed ball, I'd like to say thank you to SNP Partners for first of all sponsoring our drinks reception. So when you walk in, we have a lovely drinks reception, 3-course sit down dinner. We've got some phenomenal silent auction and raffle prizes. And we really do need to say thank you to the generosity of so many local businesses who've contributed to that. And then we have a band, Switch, who are performing for us. So the emphasis, we called it Carnival for a reason. I think we can all agree it's been a very long winter. The lighter nights are coming, thankfully. And we thought, what's the best thing to do? The 1st of March, have something that's a real celebration of everything that's to come this year. Really nice, vibrant, fun event. And that's what Carnival is.